In the not-so-distant future, humanity has finally clawed its way into the prestigious and cautious ranks of the Galactic Assembly, a centuries-old council of powerful alien civilizations. Known unofficially among the elder species as Space Orcs for their brutal adaptability, unpredictable violence, and unsettling resilience, humans are both feared and diplomatically tolerated. Their entrance into the assembly came not from diplomacy, but from surviving and winning a skirmish against a species once thought invincible. The assembly, wary of human unpredictability, assigns them mostly ceremonial or observational roles in peacekeeping missions. Enter Lieutenant Commander Rhea Maddox, a decorated human soldier turned diplomatic observer. With a reputation for ice-cold nerves and zero tolerance for incompetence, Rhea is dispatched to a volatile ceasefire summit between the Zorth Dominion, a proud reptilian empire obsessed with honor, and the Krill Collective, a telepathic insectoid, hive mind with a long memory and no patience for meat-witted mammals. The summit is held aboard a neutral space station orbiting a dead world, a symbolic location meant to reflect the cost of centuries of war. Rhea's orders are clear. Do not interfere, observe, record, and report. She's one human among dozens of alien delegates, flanked only by 2 junior attachés and a station-provided AI assistant. Despite her silent presence, the room grows tense the moment Rhea enters. Zorth warriors glance warily at the heavy scarring on her arms. Krill nodes recoil slightly from her presence, whispering through the psychic ether about Earth's mad survival rituals and hyper-adaptive brain chemistry. The talks quickly deteriorate. Both sides speak in circles, rehashing centuries of blame and perceived slights. Rhea quietly notes the procedural stagnation and cultural blind spots that keep peace out of reach. She remains silent until a Krill delegate veers off protocol and tries to psychically probe her mind, a violation of assembly law. It's meant as intimidation, but it backfires spectacularly. Rhea's mental defenses, honed through years of classified human neural conditioning, react with the subtlety of a spiked bear trap. The Krill node recoils in visible pain, shrieking in a multi-voiced harmonic, before collapsing to the ground. The room goes dead silent. She doesn't apologize. Instead, she calmly stands and delivers a short statement. That both parties are behaving like children, too proud to admit they've broken their toys. She outlines without emotion the tactical mistakes both sides have made in the past decade, and suggests that if they truly wished for peace, they'd stop trying to win arguments and start fixing their broken supply chains and communication networks. She finishes with, "Humans used to be like you. Then we realized pride doesn't rebuild cities. Action does." The delegates are stunned. Zorth honor keepers are torn between admiration and offense. The Krill are shaken. No one has ever reflected a mental assault so viscerally, but neither side retaliates. Rhea sits back down and resumes her observer role like nothing happened, but the ripple has started. From this moment, rumors begin to swirl. The human broke a Krill mind, insulted both sides, and walked away untouched. Her name spreads as a dangerous wild card. What the Assembly had hoped would be a passive mission has just gained an unpredictable edge. Following Lieutenant Commander Rhea Maddox's explosive display at the ceasefire summit, tensions between the Zorth Dominion and Krill Collective hit a new high. Both sides, humiliated in front of a mere human observer, accuse each other of conspiring with her, or worse, of being manipulated by Earth. The Galactic Assembly scrambles to regain control, but the damage is done. Rhea has become a symbol, not of peace, but of disruption. The Assembly quietly orders Rhea's extraction. A diplomatic shuttle is dispatched to retrieve her from the neutral station, but just hours before its scheduled arrival, the shuttle is destroyed en route. Official blame is murky. Both the Zorth and Krill deny involvement, though intercepted chatter suggests sabotage. The message is clear. Rhea is no longer just an observer. She's now a threat, or at best, a liability. Neither faction wants wandering free. Stranded, outnumbered, and cut off from official assembly support, Rhea chooses not to panic. Instead, she adapts. Using her observer credentials, she gains unrestricted access to the station's diplomatic archives, cargo manifests, and communication logs, things neither faction paid attention to. While the Zorth and Krill gear up for another round of war, she begins quietly manipulating their infrastructure from behind the scenes. She starts with logistics. Rhea reroutes supply shipments, forging subtle edits in the system so that a Zorth forward base ends up receiving Krill rations and vice versa. She scrambles orders, cancels reinforcements, and turns vital energy grid updates into unscheduled blackouts. Confusion spreads. Both sides think the other is conducting some brilliant disinformation campaign. Next, she moves on to miscommunication. Exploiting the bureaucratic rigidity of both species, she hacks into their diplomatic channels to send subtly altered messages, creating the illusion of betrayal and strategic deception. Krill units begin misfiring on their own support drones. Zorth admirals accuse each other of colluding with humans. Alliances fracture. Suspicion reigns. But it doesn't take long before they trace the pattern back to her. The Krill, now fully convinced that Rhea is leading some covert human op, dispatch a psychic kill team to neutralize her. The Zorth, not to be outdone, send a squad of honor blades with orders to redeem the Dominion's pride through blood. Rhea isn't surprised. She expects assassination attempts. Using nothing more than a repurposed maintenance tunnel, improvised traps, and terrifying hand-to-hand combat skills, she defeats the Zorth attackers, leaving them alive, restrained, and humiliated. She doesn't kill them. Instead, she patches them up and sends them back to their commanders with a message. If you want war, you'll get it. If you want peace, send someone worth talking to. This act becomes legend. The Zorth interpret it as warrior, magnanimity. The Krill, confused by the non-lethal strategy, fear it's a prelude to a more devastating plan. Either way, the myth of Rhea Maddox grows. The Observer has become a strategic ghost, untraceable, unkillable, and somehow always 5 steps ahead. Now cut off, hunted, and feared by both sides, Rhea begins to rally allies, disillusioned aliens, neutral smugglers, and abandoned units. What began as a diplomatic assignment has now morphed into something else entirely. A shadow war waged with information, manipulation, and terrifying human tenacity. The myth of Rhea Maddox, once a mere diplomatic observer, now echoes across battlefields and command centers throughout the Zorth Dominion and Krill Collective. Neither faction can pin down her exact movements, but the consequences of her influence are everywhere. Ships go missing, supply chains collapse, and elite units turn up disarmed and disoriented. Speaking of a human ghost, who knows their playbook better than they do. In truth, Rhea is no ghost, just a human doing what humanity does best, surviving through adaptation, subversion, and relentless creativity. Isolated from official support, she forms a coalition of misfits. Zorth defectors disgusted by their leader's arrogance, outcast Krill drones experiencing rare individual thought, and neutral traitors tired of being caught in a war no one wants to win. Operating from the hollowed-out remains of a derelict mining station hidden in a radiation belt, Rhea turns her ragtag team into a functional force. They lack numbers, ships, and resources, but not ingenuity. Repurposing abandoned tech, mining equipment, and civilian data satellites, they launch a campaign of asymmetrical warfare that spreads chaos throughout both empires. She strikes not with overwhelming force, but with precision and timing. A Zorth convoy is rerouted into a Krill ambush, only to find the Krill fleet suddenly experiencing catastrophic AI failures. A Krill outpost reports being under siege, but all attackers wear salvaged Zorth armor and speak perfect Krill battle commands. Her tactics are surgical, minimal casualties, maximum confusion. Meanwhile, Rhea floods the networks with weaponized propaganda, truths, half-truths, and carefully seeded rumors. Messages intercepted by opposing fleets claim peace talks are secretly underway. Combat units hesitate. Orders are questioned. Paranoia blooms. Some Krill begin to believe a rogue Zorth faction is working with humans to take over the hive. Some Zorth start suspecting that humanity has developed advanced mental warfare, and Rhea is just the first wave. As battlefield command structures collapse into mistrust, Factions within both empires begin to fracture. Some want peace. Others want revenge. Still others just want out. Then comes her boldest move yet, the seizure of an ancient weapons platform, long thought inoperable and hidden in the dense debris of the Wargrave Belt. With the help of her Krill defector-turned-engineer and a Zorth tech specialist, Rhea powers up the system, not to destroy planets but to disable them. The platform emits targeted electromagnetic pulses that shut down fleet communications and disarm weapons without harming crew. She uses it only once, to disarm both sides' command fleets simultaneously during a tense standoff over a disputed moon. With thousands of lives hanging in the balance, Rhea speaks through every open frequency. This is not victory. It's mercy. Stop making me choose for you. The impact is seismic. Two mighty factions, leaders of centuries of bloodshed, have been halted, not by superior firepower but by a human who refuses to play their game. In the aftermath, whispers spread. Rhea Maddox isn't just a war hero. She's a living contradiction. A human warrior who wages peace through chaos, a diplomat who disables armadas. Both empires are forced to confront a question they've avoided for too long. What if the only way to end this war is to follow the human? With the Zorth Dominion and Krill Collective's command fleets disarmed by the ancient weapons platform, the battlefield falls eerily silent. For the first time in centuries, no ships fire, no orders are issued. The galaxy holds its breath. Lieutenant, Commander Rhea Maddox broadcasts a single message, looping it on every frequency. You've all proven you can wage war. Now prove you're capable of something greater. Despite their pride and millennia of rivalry, both factions are forced to confront an uncomfortable reality. They've been decisively outmaneuvered, not by a superior fleet or empire, but by a lone human observer, cut off from her government, using scrap metal and stolen bandwidth. Yet what terrifies them most isn't the defeat, it's her restraint. Rhea never used the platform's full capabilities. She didn't annihilate fleets. She didn't assassinate leaders. She stopped the war without mass slaughter, a concept alien to both the Zorth and Krill, whose histories are written in blood and conquest. Now, leaders from both sides, some humbled, others fearful, agree to secret talks. Not with each other, but with her. From her fortified mining station turned hub, Rhea drafts what becomes known as the Maddox Accord. It's brutally simple, no labyrinthine ceremonial language, no impossible concessions, just 4 unbreakable rules written in direct Earth legal code: immediate ceasefire, shared responsibility for war crimes, rotating peacekeeping patrols manned by both sides, neutral oversight conducted by humans, not as rulers, but as referees. The Zorth see it as an honor pact. The Krill interpret it as the most logically efficient solution to end their resource losses. Neither side trusts each other, but they all trust one thing. Rhea Maddox is watching, and if the accord is broken, she'll return, and she won't be merciful again. The Galactic Assembly, blindsided by her success, scrambles to reframe the narrative. They spin her actions as innovative human diplomacy, conveniently ignoring the fact they had ordered her extraction and disavowed her when things got messy. Suddenly, other species begin requesting human observers on their own missions, not for etiquette or protocol, but for protection. Earth's diplomatic corps swells in influence overnight. A new reputation forms. Humans don't escalate conflict, they end it. One way or another. Rhea herself declines every award and refuses promotions. Offered a high post on the Assembly. Peace Council, she says only, "I didn't do this to lead, I did it so someone else wouldn't have to." Instead, she quietly returns to Earth, boarding an unmarked transport without fanfare. As she departs, a Zorth general who once ordered her assassination approaches. He speaks not in anger but in wary respect. "Next time, send a warrior, not a diplomat." She smiles thinly. "That was the warrior. You really don't want to meet our diplomats." Thus ends the legend of Rhea Maddox, human observer, saboteur of war, and reluctant peacemaker. Across the stars, her story becomes A cautionary tale whispered among generals and diplomats alike. Never underestimate the humans, especially the quiet ones.